Outsourcing is a vital part of the 7 habits of highly successful internet marketers, and in this particular video we're going to explore exactly why that is and how you can use outsourcing in order to harness the power of other people and leverage other people's skills and other people's time in order for you to build your business and to create something which is an asset to you. So, first of all, with outsourcing, one of the bonuses of it is that it helps you to focus on the goals that we talked about earlier on. It allows, as I mentioned in the last video as well, allows for a helicopter perspective. So having a system which you can then outsource is the ultimate in getting that perspective, because it means you have an overview perspective of what's going on. Rather than working in the business, you are able to work on it and see it from an entrepreneur's perspective, rather than just from being a sort of a technician working within the business. It means you can methodically work through your goals, because if you outsource, then you can have a very specific group of people to work on your business itself and be able to see them meeting individual criteria or individual goals themselves, which adds to the overall goals of the company. The business begins to fund wider goals as well, so the business itself starts to fund a lifestyle that you want to live. It may also fund a lifestyle for some of your employees, or your outsourcers I should say. It may fund a lifestyle for your family. It may produce some of the goals that you want in life that are a bit broader than just business. So if you have a business that is successful in producing several £1,000s every month, or even every week, every day perhaps, then you have a business which is able to fund goals in your life which might be broader than just having a successful business. You might want, for example, to learn how to be a stunt driver, or you might want to learn the piano or the guitar. You might be able to therefore hire yourself somebody who could teach you those skills and be able to go and do that a bit more regularly than you would if you just had a 9-to-5 job. You could potentially become a millionaire in assets just by investing your money wisely, but the only way to do that and to be able to focus on that goal is to achieve a goal which funds it in the first place. If you don't have the funding for it, of course it won't happen. So that's one of the good things about outsourcing. Outsourcing is also an investment rather than an expense, and that's one of the biggest mindsets to adopt as an internet marketer and as an entrepreneur, because if you are going to go into internet marketing, then you do become an entrepreneur, and if you're going to do it effectively, then you need to think of it as an investment when you outsource, not as an expense, because it is. Outsourcers become attributes or assets in themselves for your business, because they're doing something that you don't want to do, or that you perhaps want to have somebody who's an expert do instead. So you could, for example, hire a writer. If you're not a particularly expert writer, you could hire somebody else to do the writing for you. Copywriting is a good thing to outsource, because there are people out there who are experts at making words speak to somebody who visits your website, for example. If you can get somebody to do that for you, you might have to pay them several £1,000s to do that effectively, but if they do, you're going to make much more money in the future. So it's an investment, it's not just an expense. Remember, expenses are things which you don't necessarily make any money back from, whereas investments are things which are like assets. They put money in your pocket ultimately. It may be short term or long term, but they will eventually put money in your pocket, as opposed to taking it out, which is an expense. It's important as well that you see the investment as a seed of your business. It's something that you're sowing the seeds for future investment or future success. If you have people, as I say, writing for you, or people doing some programming work for you, then those people are creating the seeds of success in the future, because they're creating the things which you're going to sell, or they're creating methods to market for you. And these are all coming from the system that you've created in the first place, which you worked when you first started your business, until it got busy or got too big for you, and you then decided to outsource it. It's important as well to have an abundance mentality, and we've talked about this in earlier videos, but it's important here as well, because if you don't have that abundant mentality, then you will see this as an expense, and you will start to potentially lose the focus on your broader business, because you'll be worrying too much about the money you've spent on outsourcing. Well, actually, if your system works, then the outsourcing should just be adding to your bottom line, not taking away from it. So you can think abundantly and think that the outsourcers are assets and the outsourcers are building your wealth, because if the system works, then that's exactly what they are doing. The good thing about outsourcing is it means you can scale up your business as well. It means that you can use the power of many to create your goals rather than just by doing it on your own, which is going to take much longer. And also, you're not going to have all the expertise you need to run a business. If you've been internet marketing for a while, you'll know very well that having all those skills isn't really possible, or at least it's not practical. You actually need to just be able to harness the skills of other people in order to make your business work. So when you're scaling up the business, you can use the power of many in order to make the business bigger and to create a better perspective on the business for yourself, again, so that you're working on the business and not working in it. Specialists can increase certain business areas as well. If you hire people who are specialists in the field, and I mentioned this earlier with people who are experts at copywriting, then those people can increase that side of your business. You could even create a branch of your business that produces good copywriting for people, and you can then outsource the copywriting to the person who's done your copywriting. That could be something that you could increase there as well. You could be almost like an agent for that person. So if you have an article writer who's an expert and who's produced good results for you, then you could almost trade their expertise against other people's needs. If other people want a good copywriter, you can recommend it and take a commission as a result of it, and they can increase that business area for you. You're producing more work for them, which means you're going to be paying them more, but also that's becoming a bigger asset for you. Their expertise are being leveraged more effectively. So that's something you can think about as well when you're scaling up the business. It also allows for this mystical thing that we refer to in internet marketing as autopilot income, or residual income is also what it's known as. Passive income is another word for it, but it basically means income that you don't have to worry about anymore. So you can perhaps do 2 or 3 hours work a week, and you'll be able to keep that system running simply because the system works, it's been optimized, and then you've scaled it up using outsourcing. So you've hired other people to make that system function while you're not there, which means that you can then go out and go for your bigger goals, focus on the things that you really want from life, whether that be a family, or whether that be a particular achievement in life, whether that if you want to be an Olympic gold medalist, or whether you want to be the best dancer in the world, or whatever. You can focus more on that goal because you have the income and the system and the business to back it up. The outsourcing idea also brings about a very important shift in mindset. Again, this produces another win-win-win situation, and you have to think in those terms in order for outsourcing to be effective. You have to think, well, what's the best outcome for everybody in this situation? If anyone loses, then it's not a good system. Everyone needs to be able to win. So your customers need to win, the outsourcer needs to win, you need to win, and if there's any JV partners, then they need to win as well, and they all need to get a benefit from the transaction. And if anyone suffers as a result of the transaction, then it's not something that you should do, because as a result you're going to create or you're going to break a bond with one or more of those people. So if you, for example, give the outsourcer more work but don't pay them anymore, they lose out, because that means they're giving away their time for nothing. If you don't create a win-win situation, for example with a joint venture partner, the chances of them recommending you to other joint venture partners or doing business with you again is reduced. So again, you need to make sure that you have that shift in the mindset which says that outsourcing needs to be a win-win-win situation for everybody. Outsourcers also become partners, and I think personally they need to be treated as partners in your business, not just as employees, because they are looking for similar things as you in terms of the business. They want to earn a living, they want to have the respect of the people they're working for, they want to earn money by being recommended to other people, and the more of that you can do, again, the more the mindset changes, and the more abundance you see in your outsourcers, the more they become partners, and the more everyone benefits from it, you and them. Again, it's also good to make sure that you have that entrepreneurial mindset as well, and seek opportunities as much as you can. Once you've got a system that's set up and running, and a system that works, it's a very good idea to make sure that the outsourcing side of your business is as entrepreneurial as the rest of it. By that I mean that by seeking those opportunities, you can help, for example, your outsourcer to create their own business. If you do that, then that means that they will have an ability to create money on their own, and you will be able to give their business work, and they will be able to start a business as a result of all the work you're giving them. So if you can create a system like that for them, then you're creating something that will help your business and that will help someone else, which in turn will help their family and will help the friends around them and will help them to have the lifestyle that they want as well. And if you have that mindset, which is similar to the mindset in the 1 Minute Millionaire, the book, which is by Mark Victor Hansen, then you'll be able to see that in action and be able to increase your business and your wealth, and wealth in the sense of being wealthy spiritually and financially, as well as just in terms of purely your business. Finally, outsourcing is an awesome way to time manage. If you can manage your time more effectively, then of course it means you can focus on more than one task. You can be multitasking all while focusing on the same thing. So if your goal is to create a fantastic ebook with an amazing website, a very good sales letter, and a shopping cart which is easy to use, then you can outsource all of those elements to create that, and you can be multitasking while focusing on that one task. The goal, or the one task, is the ultimate production of that ebook and the website and a system. And if that's the main goal, then you can achieve that main goal by multitasking using outsourcers. You can have one person writing the sales letter, one person writing the program for the shopping cart, or researching a shopping cart that already exists. You could have somebody else creating the content for the ebook, somebody else designing the cover, somebody doing the artwork for the website, for the header. All of those different things can be outsourced. And as a result of that, you are doing your business rather is doing several things at once while focusing on one main goal. As a result, you'll find that you'll be able to turn out businesses and successful websites much quicker. The project completion, as a result, as I say, becomes far quicker, far faster, and you become a manager of resources and time, which are actually far more valuable resources than money. Because if you can manage your resources and manage other people's resources and other people's time, then you become truly entrepreneurial and can basically accomplish anything, because you're using the power of many to complete one particular goal. And literally it can be anything in your life from that point on. It can be, if you have those skills of managing resources and managing time, you can apply those to any part of your life and be successful. So let's say you have an ebook which has been very successfully produced and is now making you lots of money. If you can do that, then you can apply those exact same skills that you've had to manage your ebook and the creation of your ebook to, let's say, to your wedding, for example. If you're going to get married, you just use exactly those same skills to create a nice, simple, straightforward system for the fantastic, perfect wedding. You can then sell that as a product as well if it's something that becomes successful. It's just using all these different methods to think a little bit, although it's cliche, to think a little bit outside the box, allows you to make use of outsourcers in a way that only the very successful internet marketers do effectively. So that's a little blueprint there for you to use outsourcing as effectively as possible in your business. Of course, remember that you do have to have a system that works and that makes money before you can outsource it. But once you do, then it's amazing how much this will take your business to the next level. So that's the fifth habit of the internet marketers and highly successful internet marketers. We've got 2 more to go, and I'll see you in the next video.